everyone. I hope you had a pleasant and a restful night. I think it's gonna rain today. I wore the wrong sneakers today. I don't know why I put on my pink sneakers. Whatever. I guess I was just feeling pink. But yes, it might rain, so don't forget your umbrella. Like me, I forgot mine. Yeah, so today is gonna be kind of a dreadful. My advice, if you don't have anywhere to go today, stay home, because I think it's gonna be a nasty day. But I wanted to respond. I'm always watching stuff on social media that's so hilarious to me. But it's two videos I wanted to respond to. So the first video, I started recently following a woman named Tiffany, and she's in her 40s. Some of my friends are in their 40s, and you know, they are the best personalities. It's something about your 40s. When you get in your 40s, my friends in their 40s living their best life. I'm in my 30s, I'm living my best life. And you know, I have one younger friend, and I try to tell her, you know, when I was in my 20s, I was not focused on no relationship. Like, there was guys who wanted to be with me, but my focus was on myself, and I was never the settling type. In my last three relationships, I settled. And I'm 34 years old, and society will have you thinking something wrong with you because you're single. You know how you have men that are bachelors and they'll be single for 10, 15 years at a time and nobody judges them. But for women, it's like, if we're single, oh, something's wrong with you. And we need to stop that. There's a difference between being single and lonely. Lonely, you could be married and lonely. And I'm going to explain. You got people that's married and they never see their husbands. Like, literally. Their husbands don't come home. They don't do anything as a couple. To me, that's worse than being single. I'd rather be single, alone, and have a few friends here and there when I want to get it on and popping, than to be married and my husband don't even want to go out to dinner with me. That, to me, is grounds for divorce. But what do they say? Oh, you're supposed to work it out. There's nothing to work out. And then people say, oh, well, this couple should go to counseling. Counseling cannot make you love someone or like someone. Counseling could help you figure out why the person is cheating. Just like on Love and Hip Hop, Peter Gunz, he was trying to tell Tyra wasn't listening, because Tyra's another personality. She's on another level, but she wasn't listening to him as to why he was cheating. You know, he was willing to say, hey, you know, maybe I need some help. Maybe I need to, you know, so that I do agree with, because he did have love for Tyra and he did have love for Amina. He just he didn't even know why he was cheating and stuff like that. And if Tyra really loved him, she would try to understand why. And I think that's the first thing. One thing I could say truly, and it's not to boast myself, every guy that I've ever been intimate with or dated, they all confided in me about things that they went through in their childhood. So I'm not walking around saying, oh, I don't know why he played me and I don't know why he did this. It's stuff that people go through. So I could walk away and I could live a good life. You know, there's one particular guy recently, he told me bits and pieces, but he didn't really get into it. But I know why. The little bit that he told me, I'm not walking around confused like, oh, I don't know why, da-da-da. He has issues. And we as women, it's our job to find out the why. Don't just be like, oh, well, he's an F-boy. No, it's your job as a woman to have these tough conversations. What was your mom like? What was your dad like? Were you touched as a child? Are you in therapy? You know, these are real questions. Because if somebody's in therapy, and this is no shade, but if they're going through something and they're in the transition of getting themselves together, what good are they to you? You know what I'm saying? So you have to be mindful of that, ladies, that, you know, a lot of the times we want these men are not mentally we're not even talking about physically. These men are not mentally prepared to be in a grown person relationship because they haven't grown up and they haven't gotten over childhood hurt. A man who his mother lied to him about stuff, right? And he watched his mother use men, right? And he never got over that. He's not going to be able to be in a relationship with you because you are the enemy. So stop trying to figure out why it won't work and why. No, you need to listen to that man. And that's my advice in this video. Stop and think. That's, this is, my series. Stop and think. I know I talk a lot about science and I talk about this and that. Today I'm talking about relationships and empathy. So you need to be empathetic. You need to stop and be like, okay, he's not ready to be in a relationship with me because this is what happened to him when he was a child. Now, is that an excuse? No. But if somebody's expressing to you that, hey, this is what happened and I'm not over it, then you need to put on your grown woman panties, accept it, and move on. Come on now. If a guy's telling you like, hey, take it and move on. Don't be, And then on top of that, they nice enough to tell you what they did in their last relationship. Just like an example, what I was rewatching the episodes of Amina. Amina knew what type of man Peter was, that he was cheating on Tyra with different females, not just her, that Tyra was the side chick. She knew all of the dirty laundry and still got with him. My whole thing is this. Sometimes our hormones take over, and sometimes you could just, how can I say this? Sometimes a guy could just do it for you. Like he got perfect teeth, perfect skin, just everything perfect. But if he's telling you things, right, you have to accept your position. You have to accept the fact that this is gonna go but so far. You can't be delusional, right? And that's important. Like you have to take things for what they are and not try to change a man. I've never tried to do that ever in my life. Like I could truly say I'm 34 years old. When I started dating, I feel like I started dating, like seriously dating, like 2021. I had my son, but that was something that happened. But like catching feelings for a man, 2021, like actually falling in love and stuff. And I've always had the spirit of, I'm like, my gut never lies. Even when I was young, like I've always been right. So you have to listen to that gut. You have to, when these men are telling you things, you have to open up your ears and listen. When he's telling you things about how his dad beat his mom, listen. When he's telling you that his mom cheated on his dad, listen. When he's telling you that his mom lied to him about who his dad was, listen. When he's telling you that, I cheated on my girl for 6 years, 7 years, listen. Stop being delusional. And I think that's what it is. Like, think about all the friends that hurt you and all the men that hurt you. You had high expectations. What happens if, let's say, like I work with kids, right? Let's say if you have a teacher who the student is not that bright. Like some students, they're just not going to be an A+ student. They're just not. It's not in them, right? So if you have a D student and let's say that they're doing their best and you're like, you have to get an A, what's going to happen to you as a teacher? You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get annoyed because you're like, oh my God, this student won't get an A. They're never going to get an A because that's not them. They're doing their best and their best is a D, right? So just like that teacher that's expecting that D student to be an A student, y'all are getting D men. And when I say D, I'm talking about low class men, right? And I'm not talking about their job title. Oh no, I've been blessed to meet men of all different calibers, And it's not about job title, it's about character. Y'all get with these guys that have low character and y'all expect him to be an A student. It don't go like that. It don't work like that, sis. So we need to be honest with ourselves. Take us, and then I had to think, I was doing some deep thinking last night. I was like, why is it that every guy I date, they all lie? Like, why is it that they all lie? They all talk about people. Like, what's up with that? They have characteristics of my father. Now, I've forgiven my father for things. I've forgiven my mother. But what is it about me? I keep attracting. Now, all of them are different. All of them are very different. And I feel like I need to write a book about the men that I've encountered, because it would be, that would really be good. Because women could be able to identify. But it's like, why? We gotta stop and think. Why do I keep attracting the same type of dude over and over and over again? Now, a lot of them are different, but they have similar characteristics. And then I was thinking, the last few guys, they all compulsive liars. They all wear glasses. They all wear. I'm like, yo, I have a type. Like, I literally was like, I have a type. So now I have to reevaluate myself. Like, I evaluate myself. Like, I don't need somebody else to tell me what's up. It's like, what's up with Crystal? Crystal needs to look in the mirror and see what the fuck is going on with me. Why is it that I attract compulsive liars? Why is it that I attract the wrong type of men? Even the good men are wrong too. Even the good men lie to me. I have female friends who lie to me. And it's hurtful because I'm a very transparent person. I'm the realest person you want me. I'm not ashamed of anything. I'm very transparent. So I don't understand why people just, I know for some people, they might feel like they need to lie to me because they feel like they're in competition with me or something. It's like, life is not a competition. We all strive on different, wavelengths. So it's like, it's just weird. But yeah, ladies, I just wanted to say that, for people who make an assumption like somebody's in their 40s or 30s that we out here. No, we not. Some of us are single by choice because we broke up with a nigga. Right? Now, some people are lonely because it's not by choice. I knew a girl, we were very close for 7 years, and every guy she messed with, none of them wanted her. So that's an example of she was not single by choice at all. But the rest of us, we're in relationships and we break up with people. That's why we're single, in case people wanted to know. And a lot of people that's out here married, they settled. I'm not going to be with a dude that's going to leave his drawers on the floor. I'm not going to date a dude that don't cook and clean. It's just certain things about me that I'm not going to tolerate, right? Like, I'm just not going to put up with it. I'm not going to put up with a guy that there's a need there and he don't supply. Now, I'm not saying that a guy should pay for everything, whatever, but you not about to tell me that you did this and this and this for your ex, but you can't do it for me. So I might as well be by myself, because at this point, I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? You should come to my house. You could see that there's a need and we're supposed to be in a relationship, and I'm asking you for something and you don't supply it. I don't need you. Comprende? Like, I don't need you, right? So, so I had an ex of mine who, it was hot in my living room, like really hot in my living room, and the AC wasn't working. And I said to him, you see my AC don't work, right? So I had to tell him to buy me another AC. So I'm like, you know what? Why am I with you? Like, what are you good for? Like, I gotta beg you to do the bare minimum. But I'm putting gas in your car. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing that. Like, what are we doing? We might as well be friends. Like, we're going out to eat. I'm paying for myself. No. No, 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 no. Because I know the chick before me didn't have to do that, and the chick before her didn't have to do that. So why do I have to do that? When I bring more to the table than both of them combined. Those they were bum bitches. So because I'm independent, you're taking advantage of, no, we're not doing that. So yeah, and then like the dude before him, I just lost attraction. And I told him straight up, I said, you deserve a girl that's gonna jump on you, because I'm a Pisces, I'm very affectionate. So if I like you, I'm gonna be all over you 24/7. Like, I'm gonna be like, because that's just Pisces. We're very affectionate, and I wasn't affectionate to him. So I was like, you deserve a girl that's gonna be all over you 24/7, accept you for who you are. And I released him, and he got married, and I'm happy for him, because everybody deserves somebody, and there's somebody out there for somebody. That's how I see it, no matter what their flaws are. And then the second video I wanted to respond to is how many of y'all, and I might put this on a short because I honestly do want a response, but how many of you ladies are satisfied sexually in your relationship? Be honest. Like, this is honesty now. How many of you could really say, like, oh, yes, I'm happy and I'm content? Because I can count on one hand how many guys, and they was no good guys. That's the crazy part. But, yeah, it's kind of hard to find that compatibility, so two things. But yeah, they always tell us, oh, if you find a good man, hold on to him. Hello. So I had a little interruption. But yes, women, when we're brought up as little girls, a lot of our mothers, well, my mother was very transparent with me, and she always said, Crystal, be better than me. Don't be like me, be better than me. So I always try to learn things in reverse. And society, and I've even had friends who told me my standards are too high. And it's like, well, where have your standards gotten you? Miserable. I'm happy because I don't settle. And, my last experience, that was just a WTF. Like, that was just so out of my character. Like, I'm outside looking in, like, what? Like, really? Well, because I couldn't find nobody better than him at the time. But like Whitney Houston said, I'd rather be alone than unhappy. It's all right, but it's okay. I'm gonna make it anyway. And society puts so much pressure on women being with men. Listen, you got men that's never been in a serious relationship. They got married, and that's another thing I wanted to say. Just because someone's married, that doesn't mean it's a serious relationship. Just because someone's in a relationship, that doesn't mean it's serious. Just because you met his family, it doesn't mean it's serious. Serious means committed. Serious means you bring your ass home at night. Amen. Serious means you're committed, you want to be there. Okay? It's not serious when you doing what you want to do when you want to do it, and you have this idea where I'm grown and I'm gonna just do what I want to do. That's not a relationship. You can't do what you want to do all the time. That's not adulting. That's being a child, really. It's your woman's birthday or it's Valentine's Day and you're so fucking selfish. You're like, oh, well, I don't feel like it. Or let's say, y'all haven't gone out in 6 months. And she's like, well, let's go somewhere. And you're like, well, I don't want to go. Everything is you. I don't feel like. Well, guess what? She going to find the next nigga that feel like. Then it's really that simple. Or she's going to dump you. Like, you know what I'm saying? And guys stick with girls that, like Mandisi's on Love and Hip Hop. He was like, what attracted him to Yandy wasn't her character, but because she said she'll never leave her husband. That's the worst thing she could have ever said. That's the worst thing you could ever say, because he feel like, oh, she ain't going nowhere. And I feel like in my own little experiences, the way you can keep a man on his toes is if he feel like something might happen. That's just like at a job, right? If you notice that if you're at a job and you work with people who don't care, why is it that they don't care? Because number one, they probably have other options. They probably got another source of income, or they going on interviews and they know they have credentials and so forth. So it's like, well, I don't give a fuck about this job because X, Y, and Z, right? So it's the same thing with people that's in relationships. Like, if they feel like, well, she not going nowhere, nobody want her, he's gonna mess up deliberately because he feel like he got you. And it's sad, but that's the way it is. You gotta always, the same way that, I'm gonna talk about myself. So me, every job I've ever had, I always make sure I do my best because that's just my character. That's just who I am, right? The moment that I feel like I could do better, I do, right? It's the same way I am in my relationships. I always put my best foot forward. And when I don't want to be there, I'm not, So, it's the same way, but some people, they're just comfortable. They're comfortable. So even if they're unhappy, they're comfortable. So they're in a sense of comfortability, and it's like, oh, okay. So I feel like everybody has a certain standard in life, and like, some people, they get to a certain level where they like, well, I can't live without this person because of what they could give to me monetarily or whatever. And that's the worst thing. And Judge Judy said it too. She was like, never enter a marriage or a situation where you're living with a man and he's making like way more than you, to the point where if he leave or if you want to leave, you can't take care of yourself. Never put yourself in that situation, because then you become stuck. And I was impressed by Judge Judy saying that, because she's older than my parents. And I'm happy she said it on a national, point on an interview, because that's encouraging to me. That's encouraging to other women her age. And, at the end of the day, she's 100% right. Never put yourself in a situation where you need him, because one day he might just stick around because because he knows that you need him. And then that becomes toxic. Trust me, I've seen it. That's the worst thing, when a man don't want you, but he stay with you because he knows that you need him financially. Oh my God, that's like, and that's why I say, I know I need to, even though I'm on my own and stuff, I want to be further along financially. Once I get out the projects and I'm with someone, I want to make sure that it's not just his money taking care of us, because men change their mind. I mean, they're human, right? So I never want to put myself in a predicament where he's paying mostly all the bills, and if it's over, then I'm stuck. Like Judge Judy said, you never want to be stuck. You never want to be in a situation where it's like, I want to get out, but I can't. Now I got to go to the shelter. Now I got to go to family. No, But that's just the two things I wanted to talk about. Settling and being alone. Hope you have a good day.